Are you ready for another meditation challenge?
Welcome back to day 21, and here we go. We're back with another Heart Chakra opening meditation. It's going to be wild and wonderful, as it always is. I've got my beast mode shirt on, so today we're going to be focusing on how to go beast in your meditation practice. Yes, that's right. Going beast today, my friends. Turn this off real quick. Put my phone in airplane mode. Sweet. That is good. All right. So how are you today? Are you ready to meditate? Because some days you wake up and you just don't feel like meditating. You ever notice that? So what to do in that situation? Well, you got to go beast. You got to go beast mode. You got to have that cup of coffee. You got to take that cold shower. You got to breathe the energy in. Take it all in. Because I think it's a better approach to meditation, to begin your meditation with a lot of energy and then taper off into the effortless state of meditation. And the reason is this, because how you start things is important. And I'm cut from a different cloth, if you've noticed, from a lot of other meditation coaches out there. I represent the radical way of cutting right through the bullshit, right to the heart of the matter, in this case, to the center. And as you know, I'm a big promoter and preacher of concentration. If you can't concentrate, you can't meditate. Sorry to say. And I'm not the one really saying it. This is the traditional way of learning true meditation, is to begin with concentration exercises. So what I'm bringing you is nothing new. It's the true and tried and true way of meditating. If you don't sharpen your knife, how are you going to cut through the weeds, the jungle? If you don't sharpen your sword, how are you going to cut through the vines that have overgrown the mind? It's just not going to happen, my friend. But that's okay, because just like you too can get six-pack abs, you too can build muscle, you too can lose that weight, you too can sharpen the mind. It's not that difficult. When I grab a book and I read, I'm concentrating. Got my old dusty Tao Te Ching here. Great little book, if you've never seen it. And when I sit and read, I'm practicing my concentration. Yes. Shall I read for you? Here's a passage from the Tao Te Ching. Oh, let's see. What's a good one? Here, let's just throw one out there. Now, the Tao Te Ching talks about the Tao. What is the Tao? The Tao is the way. The Tao is a word that means the way. It really is referring to the nameless, the way that is beyond mind, meaning it's talking about higher consciousness. It's talking about God. It's talking about nirvana, enlightenment. 32. Tao is always nameless. Small as it is in its primal simplicity, it is inferior to nothing in the world. If only a ruler could cling to it, everything would render homage to him. Heaven and earth would be harmonized and sent down sweet dew. Place and order will reign among the people without any command from above. When once the primal simplicity diversified, different names appeared. And there are not enough names now. So what this is really saying is that when you act from the Tao, when you are whole, when you're complete, and you realize the unity of all things, all the separatives, nature, the divisive, the categorized, the labeling, the separation shows itself for what it really is, an illusion. You know, it's funny. I see so many different approaches. What meditation do I do for this? What meditation do I do for that? And I understand we're all coming to meditation at different stages, and it's completely fine when you're new to meditation to ask all these questions because you're just not familiar with what meditation might be. But you hear that there's all these different meditations. There's walking meditation, there's driving meditation. I don't recommend meditating while you're driving. You should be focusing on the road, you should be looking ahead, and you should be mindful of the present moment. This is not meditation. Meditation is a movement beyond the senses. Meditation is an effortless awareness. Now, certainly you can be in a state of meditation and do things, but to call those things the method of meditation, I think, is a mistake. I feel like the best approach is to have a daily seated meditation practice in which you strive very hard to single point your concentration. And then for the remainder of the day, you're already in a high state of consciousness. You're already mindful. We're cultivating our mindfulness here and now so that we are changing. We're transforming. What good is it if you're not transforming into a more mindful being? And I hear a lot of people say that they meditate and they're just not getting results. It's because you're not doing anything different. If you do the same thing over and over and expect a different result, isn't that the definition of insanity? I think Albert Einstein said that, so it's got to be true. But the truth is that in order to change, in order to transform, in order to change anything about your body, your mind, your emotions, you need to do something differently than what you've been doing. So this is the concentration portion of the meditation. Without it, you're not going to change. You're going to sit there and you're just going to be the same person that you were in the normal waking consciousness, just trying to sit still. You'll be wrapped up in your mind. And this is why you're not getting results. This is why you're not getting the wonderful results that you hear about from all the testimonials of meditators, which half of them are probably exaggerating. So the truth is in order to change, you need to change something about ourselves. And what this concentration affords us is the ability to interrupt who we are right now, which is a pattern of thinking. I think the Buddha said once, so says the Buddha, that our thoughts make up the world. I know that's paraphrasing, but it's so simple. Our thoughts make up the world. Take away the thoughts, and what do you see? Oh, Rob, but I heard that meditation's, it's not about not thinking. It's like, you have to think, right? Sure. You can go on thinking. That's fine. If that's for you. I know that there's something beyond thought. There's a more real part of you that exists prior to your thoughts. This is the awareness. This is the consciousness that we're talking about. It's more real because we're not doing it. And what I refer to as we is this identity that we've created, that we've gone along with believing in, this personality, which is a false reality. And the reason for that is because it's not the Tao. The Tao is empty. Only when we are empty can the truth, it's like, I think people are just afraid. We're all afraid of letting go of who we are. This is why we fear death. This is why we fear change. This is why we fear effort and work, because we like comfortability, right? We're humans, we're lazy. We have lazy tendencies. It's all gonna be good, the world, it's just gonna go on. We'll be fine. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna go to heaven. It's all gonna just work out. Well, I wish that were true. And it is and it isn't, right? Life is a paradox. You can never believe anything, especially what I say. Please, for the love of God, don't believe a word I say. Please, I beg of you, but do this one thing. Meditate well. And I don't know why I'm talking like this, but it sounds cool. There's a truth you could say inside of you, because we think of in terms of inside, right? But there's really no inside or outside. The body is here, but is it inside? It just is. There's a truth that is present, ever present, everywhere, eternal. This eternal consciousness that we talk about, this higher aspect of ourselves. Some call it the higher self, some call it awareness, consciousness, higher consciousness, God, whatever you want to call it. There's this core essence of our being that's the most real truth part of ourselves. It's so intelligent that it made all of this. It made you, it made me, and it made all that we see. And this is what we're trying to get to in meditation, because it knows better than us. It is true peace, true happiness, true love. It's where all things come from. Some people call it source consciousness. Sure, it's a great name. I like to call it Bob or Susie. It doesn't really matter what you call it, because it doesn't have a name. This is what the passage in the Tao Te Ching was referring to. It's nameless. If it has a name, it's not the truth. And this is why we need to get beyond thought, because thought is a cloud that is obscuring the truth. It's like when the clouds obscure my face or obscure the sun. And then the clouds part and you see the sun. It's a bright sunny day. And even when the clouds are there, you know the sun is always there, right? So similarly, we have this truth, this essence, this awareness, this consciousness, always there, always just being covered over by our tendencies. So this is why concentration is so important, my meditation friends, is because in order to get to that sun, that internal bright sun of light, and it is light, it's a spiritual light. Light is the highest frequency. Well, stillness is the highest frequency, but light is pretty darn close. Light and sound makes up all things. Light is the essence, the energy, intelligent light. We don't know where it comes from. It just is. But you can surely experience it to know that whatever bullshit I say, whatever bullshit the next guy is saying or gal, that you can trust that you can know the truth with your own experience. And that's, to me, why I love meditation so much. Because you don't need the dogma. You don't need someone's beliefs. You don't Well, you do need a little bit of faith in the beginning, I believe, which is a good thing to have. Faith in life, faith that there's goodness. Despite how bad things might seem on the surface, there's always a faith, a trust. You have to have that. Otherwise, you'll never be able to surrender. You'll never be able to let go of the control that is the habit of our mind. We want to grab on to the familiar. We want to control our experience so much out of fear of letting go and allowing the unfoldment. Whatever happens, happens. We need to have that trust and faith in whatever you want to call it, the universe, in order to get to that next level. Because we can't transcend without trust. Okay. So, but in the beginning, we have to get through the rust. And the rust is the rust of the mind. It's encrusted and rusted and gone berserk. And what's going on in here will always be a distractive factor to the success of your meditation. So this is why we need to practice our concentration. When we hold our mind still at the heart chakra point, when we bring our attention here, do so now, please. No. We bring our attention to the center, or any chakra, or any mantra, or anything. We're interrupting that pattern. Now, that's step one, the interruption of the pattern. Because if you just allow the pattern to go on and observe it, if you don't have, people think that they can just sit and observe mind and everything's going to settle down. And yes, to a certain degree. To me, that's the slow method. And you're missing out on a great opportunity to develop your concentration ability. Your concentration ability takes you so far within this world. It does. It's everything for the waking consciousness. It's your memory ability, your ability to focus and concentrate, to carry on a conversation, to be skillful at anything, to have empathy, to offer your attention to another person and just listening. All of these things require concentration. Don't think of concentration as a bad word. Think of it as a good word. So it's first a pattern interrupt to get your attention. See, let me tell you a little story, my friends. Long, long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, part of us became trapped in time. And this part of ourself was once whole. It was once one. And a piece of it became dislodged and trapped in a time cycle and just kept going around and around and around. And it kind of lost its home. It felt separate from the whole. And this is the story of our attention. Part of our awareness, which is our innate consciousness within or without, or anywhere you go, all over the place and everywhere simultaneously all at once. Part of that became trapped in matter. This is the oldest story of the spiritual books. It's the fall. It's the story of the fall. It's the story of fallen angels. We're all angels, my friends. And part of that awareness, the wholeness, became trapped. Our attention became trapped in our bodies. Our bodies are our senses. They represent the senses, the five senses of which we use to navigate through the 3D world, the material world, our bodies. So this is what happens when you're born into a world like this that focuses mostly on the material, is that you become like them. And you kind of just copy everybody. So what's everybody doing? They're all trapped in their senses here. If we were born into a world of meditators, let's say we're born into a higher dimension of light and everyone's enlightened and they're walking around in samadhi all the time. These worlds do exist. Then we would be a much different being, wouldn't we? So our environment has absolutely influenced us to such a degree. And so this is the process. This is the way out. This is the way to collect, gather, and return that lost part of ourselves back to the whole. It's a good story, isn't it? It's got a happy ending, I'll tell you that. So what we're doing is we're bringing our attention out of that extracted and holding it at a certain point. This attention has been just routinely attached to our senses, routinely attached to our thoughts, et cetera, you know the deal. So we're bringing it to the heart chakra and we're interrupting that pattern. So that's step one. Now, of course, what happens is, that attention just wants to go back to its gravitational pull and back to its normal habits, right? You've heard this 1,000 times, but if you're new, you need to hear it again. I don't think there's, too many times that we can hear this because it's good. It's good stuff. It's important. It's a step that should not be skipped. So that's number one. We interrupt the pattern with some other pattern, with some other target to bring it, and then willfully hold it there. This is where the fun starts, doesn't it? As we know, our mind and our tendencies, these habits of mind, these thoughts are very strong. They pull us right back immediately because we're lazy. Let's face it. So this is why you need to you need to really, really try hard with your willpower here, my good friend. It's no joke. This is where you'll become strong and powerful, and you will sharpen the blade to cut through the illusion. And this is what the sword of Mandrasri does. Sri Mandrasri, God of divine wisdom, the Buddha of divine wisdom, holds the sword of divine wisdom, holds the sword of discrimination. The mind can be used as a tool, the concentration ability, and the ability of the yana yogi is the discrimination ability to know what's real and what's not real, to cut through the bullshit, in other words. And there's a lot of bullshit out there. Don't waste your time with it. You'd be much better off listening to me or not listening to me. But you'd be much better off meditating. My advice is follow your intuition. If you sense that something's, off or awry or not quite right, well, you're right. Feel and always trust yourself. I will always do my best to tell you the truth as far as I know it. I have no reason to lie to you. And I'm only here to help. What I'm doing is I'm coming on and I'm helping you heal. I'm helping to empower you, and I'm helping you to become free. So this is all within the technique of the meditation, healing, empowerment, and liberation. Because in the beginning, when we're concentrating on our heart chakra, you'll notice that perhaps the heart chakra is not necessarily open and it'll be blocked. So initially, just holding our attention there will help to bring out the healing, the repair, the auric repair, to remove the blocks, to cleanse, to purify. And only when the chakra has become purified, it's kind of like a flower that has a bunch of dirt on it. And you got to shake off the dirt. And then the flower can unfold, and its petals can grow and expand. So it's an initial healing that takes place. And this is also the purification stage. We need to purify in order to feel the integrity of our original integrity, And the fact is that many of us have a lot of emotional layers, baggage, blocks from all the conditioning and all the traumas and the bullshit that we've gone through in life that has added to these layers. So we need to penetrate these layers. And how do you penetrate? With a sharp knife. If you can't sharpen the knife, it's going to be really dull. It's going to hack away, but it's not going to get much done, you see? And what is a sharp knife in the analogy of the mind? It's the ability to hold your mind still and concentrate on one point. Every time you bring it back, you're strengthening your willpower. You're also increasing your frequency, because what's normally, as I discussed yesterday, the mind has this like tendency, their attention has this tendency to move in ways that you're familiar with. And what are the ways that we're familiar with? The ways of the body, the ways of the physical realm. We apply what we know to everything because it's all we know. Does that make sense? And what do we know? We know the physical realm very well. We all know the body. We can move around. And so our mind kind of reflects that aspect of ourselves, the aspect of ourselves that we know, familiarity. And so when we're sitting to meditate, there's not much change because it's the mind is just reflecting what its normal way of moving, which is slow, which is moving in a hierarchical manner. Thought is hierarchical. It means like it's logic. It's step by step by step. It's a very slow process. Whereas in truth, there is no stairway in the mind. There's no step by step process in the mind. The mind is relational. The mind is like water. You can go right to the center instantly. There's no steps that it needs to take to get there. It doesn't need to walk, in other words. It doesn't need to walk from your thoughts to your heart chakra. It can just appear there like a teleportation. So what we're learning to do is regain our ability that's been long lost. And the long lost ability of the mind is that the mind, the attention is free. It's free to fly. But we think we can't fly. And it's, because we're thinking like we're the body. So when we get over that, when we realize the awareness is just light and energy, and it doesn't follow the same laws of physics that we have to follow in the physical dimension. Once that becomes apparent, we begin to speed up our frequency. We can learn that, your mind, your attention can move really, 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 really fast. Did I say really? Really fast. In fact, the speed of light. The speed of thought is actually faster than the speed of light. So they say. But I think it's true. Doesn't it make sense? It all comes back to this, my friend. We're a pyramid. We have a frequency range. Speed of thought can be instant at the point. The point is instant manifestation. Problem is we're down here. We're taking our time back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. If we stop going so far away, if we keep it close, if we hold it there perfectly still, even if it's just for a moment, you'll start to build an energy. You'll release Kundalini. And the Kundalini is everything. It's the source of power, the source of energy. It's the electricity. That's the power of life. And for most people, their Kundalini has been pushed all the way down. It's locked up. And it rarely ever gets beyond the first few chakras. So when we focus on our heart chakra, you may have the experience of the Kundalini rising up to that point. That's a good thing. Because the Kundalini will energize you. It will increase your frequency. It will give you the juice. The juice is loose. It will give you the juice to turn on the lights. Without electricity, there's no lights in the house. And these lights are our realizations, the illuminations of, dare I say, the nation. But it's It's all that. What else? Anything else I need to say before we get to the meditation today? Probably not. Let's just get to it, shall we? But this time, today, after all that talk and all that mumbo jumbo, what I really am looking forward to is hearing about your reports of how hard you tried today. Oh my God, Rob, I tried so hard today, like I'd never tried before. This is what I want to hear, because what good am I doing here if we're just going through the same repetition? You have to get better. The only way you get better, and as a coach, I'm here to say, go team. Put the pedal to the metal. Let's go. Let's do it. You see what I'm saying? Motivation, inspiration, education, and all of the things that end with TION. But when you're here and you're focused and you're concentrating, you have to try very, very hard. Don't let yourself off the hook. We've all done it. I get it. It's easy to just willy-nilly, namby-pamby. But that doesn't get you anywhere in truth. Come on now. Let's face it. Let's face the facts. You ever get anywhere in life without hard work in the beginning? Everything is, you got to put the pedal to the metal. Once you can get up to speed, then you can coast, my friend. I'm into coasting. I'm not going to try to work hard all the goddamn time. What I want to do is work really hard at the beginning. See the eyes? See, this is hard work. And then I want to let it all go. And I just want to float on that wave of effort. And this is why I say it's from effort to effortless. You got to do the effortless part, because unless you do that, there's no transformation. Without that letting go, there's no awakening, there's no dawning, there's no realization of the effortless awareness of who and what we truly are, and all those other fancy words. You see what I'm saying? Good. Let's get to the meditation. So today, we're going to work it. We're going to work super hard. Don't let yourself off the hook. Don't be lazy. Don't be the same person you were before the meditation. Be a new person. You can do it, guys. I've got your back. Let's freaking go. No time to waste. You've already wasted enough time. So much so that I'll have to turn off one of my alarms that goes off at 1 o'clock to let me know I've gone too far. Give me 1 second here, because it's going to interrupt the end of my meditation if I don't. Timer, 1 o'clock. Okay, turn it off. There we go. Super. Great. Let's go. Let's take a few deep breaths and energize. Get some prana going. This is all about prana today, people. Wave breath. Let's go. Sit up straight. Begin your meditative breath. In and out the nose, diaphragmatic breathing into the belly. Settle down. As you become more experienced in meditation, this whole process will speed up. You don't need to take so much time to let go. This will teach you how to let go quickly during the day. Just let it go instantly. Let go of the tension. Let go of who you are. You don't need them anymore. They've weighed you down for too long. Get all the blinks out. Get all the kinks out. Let go of all the tension, like you're snapping a rubber band. Become the Buddha that you are. Just focusing on the breath, settling down. Notice where your attention likes to hang out. Typically in your eyes, typically in the forehead. Let that go. Now place your fingertips at the center of your chest. Bring your attention to the heart center. If you're used to keeping your hand there for the entire meditation, what I'd like you to do is once you've established the connection, after a minute or so, take your hand away and learn to feel the spot without needing your hand there. Bring your full attention to your heart center and feel the spot. This is game time. Hold your attention there. Don't let it wander. Do something that you've never done before today. Challenge yourself to not let your mind wander. And if it does, pull it back as quickly as you can. If it moves 1 millimeter away, pull it back as quickly as you can to the heart center. Ready? Go. Let go. Let go of the concentration and surrender to the stillness. Let go of the tension physically and energetically. Let go of the hold you have on yourself. Rest as awareness. All right. Slowly come on back. Take a big deep breath. Stretch up. Move your body. All right. Peace reached. But it took some time. It took some settling. In fact, I could probably use another 5 minutes. I don't know about you. Good job, my friends. Great work today. And it only gets better. Okay, so I appreciate you coming on and watching me here. But the true point of this is for you to come on here and ask me questions now. If you're not asking questions, I don't know how I can help you. This is why I'm setting up Zoom for you, so you can come on and we can talk about your meditation after. Where are your stuck points? What's your experience? Talk to me. I can help. I'm here to help, my friends. Thumbnail. All right, so there you have it. Great meditation today. Woo! We rocked it. Y'all feeling good out there? I'm feeling great. Peace achieved. Tomorrow, we will extend the meditation for 5 more minutes. What do you say? Let's do it. It's a challenge. Come on. We're in the last third of the meditation challenge. And hopefully I've been challenging you to get better, to go beyond your comfort zone. What good is a challenge if I'm not putting you to the test? If I'm not saying, hey, step up to the plate, swing bat about a swing. I mean, come on. You want this thing, don't you? I got you. Let's do this. Take care.